Good morning, children. Today we are moving to the first lesson in social science, that is Vijayanagara Empire. Vijayanagara Empire was established in such a situation that when there was no political stability or power in South India, at this juncture, two brothers, Harihara and Bukka, they established the Vijayanagara Empire. The word Vijayanagara is nothing but a city of victory, we can say that. So all this happened because Malik Kafur, the general of Alauddin Khilji, he invaded South India at the orders of Alauddin Khilji, and due to his raids in South India, many kingdoms like Yadavas of Devagiri, Hoysalas of Dwarasamudra, Kakatiyas of Warangal, and Pandyas of Madurai, and others were defeated. At this moment, two brothers, that is Harihara and Bukka, dared to win the dared to establish the empire. So that is what we call as today we are going to study Vijayanagara Empire. Okay, let's discuss about Vijayanagara Empire. See, so Vijayanagara Empire was established in the year 1336 on the southern banks of the river Tungabhadra by Harihara and Bukka. Other than that, we are having Marappa, Muddappa and Kampana. They all belong to the Sangama dynasty, or we can say that they were the sons of a person called Sangama, we can say that. Okay, they made Hampi of Ballari district as their capital and nearly ruled for about 3 centuries, we can say that. So their royal emblem was Varaha, a wild boar, we can say that. So this is the image of Varaha, we can say. So it was the royal emblem of the Vijayanagara. 4 dynasties have ruled over Vijayanagara, namely Sangama dynasty, the first one. And after this, the Saluva dynasty, and after that we are having Tuluva dynasty, and the last dynasty to rule was Aravidu dynasty. Okay, they ruled from 1336 to 1646, we can say that. So Sangama dynasty, their period starts from 1336 to 1485. Harihara and Bukka. Harihara was the first king of the Sangama dynasty, or okay, and then he established a stronghold in the regions of Tungabhadra river. Then he extended his empire up to Kadapa and Nellore in the east, and to Konkan coastal areas of the west, and to the river Krishna in the north, and to river Kaveri in the south. So in this way he laid a strong foundation for his empire. So Bukkaraya, and that means after the death of Harihara, Bukkaraya ascended the throne. Why he ascended throne is Harihara, he did not have any sons to succeed him, so Bukkaraya ascended the throne. So during the time of Bukkaraya, his son Kampana, he extended the kingdom by defeating the sultans of Madurai. So his Kampana's achievements and adventures are quoted in a book called Madura Vijayam. It was written by his queen Ganga Devi. It is one of the important literary work of the Vijayanagara times. Okay, Bukkaraya, he captured Penakunda by defeating the Reddis of Kondavidu. Reddis of Kondavidu region, we can say that. And Then one of the inscription of Stravana Belagola, it describes him that he pacified a conflict that arose between Jains and the Vaishnavas. No doubt Bukkaraya was a man of religious tolerance and equality, we can say that. So after them, uh, after Bukkaraya, Hariyara the second, Bukkaraya the second, Virupaksha the second, Devaraya the first, and many and other rulers ruled the kingdom for a short span of time. The important ruler of this Sangama dynasty is Devaraya the second, right? His period starts from 1424 to 1446 CE. So he was the very important king of Sangama dynasty, or the famous or well-known ruler of the Sangama dynasty. After ascending the throne, he built a army of his own. He built a army of his own in which he recruited Muslim soldiers who were well skilled in archery and horse training. Who were well skilled in archery and horse training, and with the help of this army, um, he defeated the Reddis of Kondavidu region, and at the same time he defended the famous forts of Mudugal, Raichur, and Bankapur by fighting against the Bahmani sultans. His brave commander called Lakarna Dandesha was sent to Kerala and Sri Lanka to impose the authority of Prouda Devaraya, and this Lakarna Dandesha, he successfully defeated the rulers of Kerala and Sri Lanka and collected a vast, what do you call that, vast amount of amount in form of cash, and also collected tributes from them. Okay, so Prouda Devaraya, he was a man of religious tolerance. He built many Jain and Vaishnava temples in the capitals, and he even permitted the Muslims to build the mosques in his kingdom. Right? And he patronized many poets in his court. Among them, we are having Telugu poet by name Srinatha, then Sanskrit philosopher Dindima, a Kannada poet, and one more Kannada, and minister Lakarna Dandesha, who is also a Kannada poet and a scholar and a minister of Prodadeva Raya, were sheltered in his kingdom. So during his time, Veerashaiva sect, which was propounded by Renukacharya, it received importance. It received importance, or um, it originated, we can say that. Then one more, a foreign traveler or a foreign ambassador, Persian ambassador. His name is Abdul Razak. Abdul Razak. He visited the kingdom of Prouda Devaraya, and he says that the eyes have not seen nor the ears have heard about such a beautiful kingdom like Vijayanagara. Okay, and further he says that the king Prodadevara's army had lakhs together of soldiers when in his kingdom, and the capital was surrounded by seven forts, or the capital had seven forts. It had seven forts. Who is telling this? Persian ambassador Abdur Razak, right? Then he had the titles. He had the titles like Gaja Ventegara, Chatur, Chatu Samudra, Dishwara, Ariraya, Vibhada. Ariraya, Vibhada were the titles given to Devaraya the second, or Prouda Deva Raya. And after his death in 1446, his son Mallikarjuna and then Virupaksha the third ruled the kingdom. These were weak, they were weak and inefficient. As a result, Saluva commander Narasimha brought an end to the rule of the Sangama dynasty, and this is how Saluva dynasty started, right? So Saluva dynasty. So Salava commander Narasimha, he ruled for 6 years and died in 1491. His children were minor. Since his children were minor, the kingdom passed on to the hands of Tuluva commander Narasa Nayaka. Narasa Nayaka from 1491 to 1503. Then after this, Tuluva commander Veera Narasimha, son of Tuluva Narasa Nayaka, started the rule of Tuluva dynasty, and after his death in 1509, his brother, so-called Krishna Devaraya, he came to the power. Okay, let's see about Krishna Deva Raya. Krishna Deva Raya, he ruled between 1509 and 1529 CE. He was the most famous, or he is said to be the famous and the greatest of the Vijayanagara kings or Vijayanagara empire, we can say that. Whereas Prouda Deva Raya was only limited to the Sangama dynasty, whereas this Krishna Deva Raya is totally related to the entire kingdom. He was the famous and the greatest of the entire kingdom. In the beginning, he had to face many revolts from the neighboring rulers, we can say that, right? And then his achievements are just like he seized the Shivanasamudra fort from the Umatur chief Gangaraja in 1510. Then he won the forts of Raichur, Kalburgi, Bidar and Udayagiri. He supported Portuguese to capture Goa from the Sultans of Vijaypur, right? And then he got released the son of a king who was imprisoned by the Bahmani prime minister, and restored him to power in Bidar. Due to this brave act, he got the title Yavana Rajya Pratistapana Charya. He did not just start with that. In the beginning, there are some more achievements, like he defeated Gajapati Pratap Rudra, a Kalinga king, and after defeating him, he married his daughter Jagan Mohini. Right? History has recorded some important achievements. See, this is the places where we can see Vijayanagara Empire. Then by the time of his death, the kingdom had spread in all the four directions. By the time of his death, the kingdom had spread in all the four directions of the empire, or of the world, we can say that, right? And he died in 1529. Domingo Pace, who visited the kingdom during his time, he states that Krishna Deva Raya was a soft person with a strong body. He states in his book, he writes in his book. Then Battle of Rakkasa Tangadgi, 1565. So Rakkasa Tangadgi battle, it is also known as the Battle of Tali Kota also, we can say that, right? So after Krishna Deva Raya, Achyutaraya and Sadashiva Raya ruled the kingdom. Since Sadashiva Raya was a minor and unable to rule, Ramaraya of Aravidu dynasty, and he was also a son-in-law of Krishna Deva Raya, took the whole responsibility of the administration. His diplomacy, whose diplomacy? Aliya Ramaraya's diplomacy helped Vijayanagara to get extended. At the same time, he had to face enmity with many neighboring rulers, we can say that. The main enemies of Aliya Ramaraya were the Bahmani Sultans or Bahmani kingdom, which was located to the exact opposite of the Vijayanagara kingdom, we can say that. So the Deccan Sultans were attacking Vijayanagara often. That means there were frequent wars between Vijayanagara kings and the Bahmani kingdom. Why they were fighting? They were fighting in order to have control over the region of Doab near Raichur area, which was very fertile. We can say that they were fighting to have control over that region, right? Ramaraya had captured Vijaypura and Golconda from the Vijaypur Sultans. So this, what do you call that? It resulted it resulted in the battle of Rakasa Tangidgi, right? So now what happens is the Bahmani kingdom, which was divided into five independent Shahi kingdoms, and due to their infighting, when they came to know that Aliya Ramaraya was extending the Vijayanagara empire, now these sultans, now forgetting their political differences, they got united and they declared a war on Vijayanagara. Okay. So on 23rd January 1565, the Battle of Rakasa Tangadgi took place. It was fought between the two villages, I think, that is Rakasa and Tangadgi. That is the reason it is called Rakasa Tangadgi. So here in this war, what happens is Aliya Ramaraya, he lost his life, and the other members of the family fled the capital. The Bahmani sultans, who were victorious in the war, entered the empire and destroyed the palaces, temples, and cities, and plundered the wealth. Okay, yes, and then finally Aliya Ramaraya's son Tirumala and Venkata, they ran away, or they escaped to Penagunda. Before going to Penagunda, that means they went to Penagunda by loading a vast amount of booty on their elephants, and they marched towards Penagunda. It is said that. Okay, and later this Aravidu dynasty, it started ruling from uh, Penagunda, which was their first capital, we can say that. And then further they made Chandragiri and later Vellore as their capitals. Hmm? Um, with the decline of Vijayanagara Empire, the feudal lords or the feudal kingdoms like um, the kingdom of Mysore, Keladi, Chitradurga, Yelahanka, and Surapura, they became independent. That means they declared their independence and started to rule on their own. Okay. This lesson, this remember this dynasty. In the coming lessons, we are going to study about this dynasty, whereas Mysore is very important, and after that Keladi, Chitradurga, Yelahanka, and Surpura we are going to study in the coming lessons.